Hello and welcome! My name is Jessica Gem, and in today's video, I'm drawing my brother in the Rick and Morty universe. Grab your portal gun and come with me on this adventure! I began with some concept sketches, thinking of what he likes and what aesthetics might suit him in this world. I briefly considered also adding Beat Saber elements, but still in the style, but decided against it since I've done a few Beat Saber things for him before. I very quickly settled on this concept of him on a cliff with a portal behind, as if he had just dimension hopped through. I did my best to translate his look into the Rick and Morty style, and this was super fun since it's a bit of a simpler, more bendy cartoon style. I looked at pics of characters from the show to get reference for body shape, hair type, and the specific types of outfits and looks that they have. One of my original thoughts was to have him only hold the portal gun, but then I couldn't figure out what to do with his other hand, so instead I designed this gun that looks like it could be part of their universe. He likes gun games and shooters, so it also thematically made sense, which is why I chose it right away instead of trying other props. This show tends to be light on the individual character details, so I decided to give him a rather plain outfit, but with a cool coat for some dramatic flair. Everyone world hopping needs a dramatic flair coat. I gave him a cool, mountainy sunset background, and I did a quick color test based on some settings for the show that I had pulled up. I made sure the composition looked how I wanted it to by making the portal a bit smaller and adjusting the frame, and the sketch was ready to render. I pulled on my mad scientist's gloves to bring the final piece to life. I pulled this into a different program and lowered the opacity of the sketch, starting my work on the background first. Using the shots from the show, I saw that they did environments with line art that was colored, and also broken up on any inner details, so I did my best to get that same quality on these rocks. They also seemed to use smaller lines for things in the distance, so I shrank my brush when I moved to the elements further back. I study how they do the clouds, and tried to emulate the shapes of them as well, adding in a base color and hiding those layers for now. They just use a hard round brush at one consistent size for most things, so using that I start to line my character, following very closely to my sketch. Now, I know that I chose to do it to myself, but man, were the guns a pain. Figuring out the angle the portal gun should have been on compared to the arm took way more brainpower than it looks like here, and I think the wrong amount of hand is showing, but I left it at close enough. The big gun, however, was worse. I drew it and then realized that the little indications of volume that I had left were facing a different direction at the bottom than at the top. It took quite a bit of detailed fiddling to flip everything around, but eventually the gun was no longer breaking 3D space. I add the base shape of my portal to work on later, and then started from the sky, making that sunset and moving forward in my layers. I picked some colors directly from screen caps for the oranges and yellows, adjusting slightly as needed. As I render, I'm still making sure to be as accurate to the show's art as possible, from the speckled shading on the clouds to the different colors mixed into the ground. The portal was interesting to do because of the swirling shapes inside, and as I go I have to move a few to make sure they're all meshing together in a way that looks good. After I have the shapes I need, I color pick and do the detailing. I color the cliff face he's standing on, and I'm ready to move on to him. As usual, I start with base layers that I can change later, using the show's exact colors, and filling them in. I use some lower opacity layers to get the portal gun glass and color the lines, like in my reference. For the gun, I try to mostly use colors that are already in the piece to keep it a more cohesive color palette, so I do red and green for the bits on it. I put everything together and I am loving how it looks so far. The last thing to pull it all together will be the lighting effects layers. I use a multiply layer to get that backlit sunset/portal lighting scenario, erasing out the edges and adding a green glow. I do the same with the cliffs and then, of course, make things glow. Thank you so much for watching. And hey look, we're not horribly maimed. Maybe you'll come with me on another adventure sometime? If you enjoyed this video, please grant me a like. And if you'd like to see more of my art, subscribe to join me. That's all for now, so farewell, and have a wonderful day.